I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
I gotta ask a question. Do y'all feel better a year ago? I want to talk as a country. I gotta ask a question. Do you feel better as a people a year ago? Do you feel less embarrassed a year ago? And I'm gonna ask that question again because the thing is, I'm really getting really tired of y'all making excuses, right? Because the thing is, many of y'all in this space voted for or back a person who says make America great again, but actually made America look stupid again. Now, earlier this morning, five African leaders showed up, you know, and and they went ahead and showed up. And let me just say, and this what happened. Let me just show you what happened. Okay, I rather tell it. I rather show y'all than tell y'all.
Insurance companies don't want you.
I don't care about the ads.
this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such
Yes.
beautiful.
I know.
Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
It's a recent celebration of your 249th anniversary. We did in Liberia at your embassy. Mr. President, we thank you for this opportunity to be here. Liberia is a longtime friend of the United States, and we believe in your policy of making America great again. And we also go a long way with you in your diplomacy that has to do with economic development and commercial friendship. Liberia has a lot of minerals, and one of the things we ask as good friends for a long time is the opportunity to do a survey of our minerals. And also, we are committed to peace, and we've been very lucky within our region. We are a country that have had series of democratic elections, and our country had been cooling down. And also, we want to encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia.
Yeah.
We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such
Yes.
beautiful.
I know.
Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Very
And
good,
they,
sir. Thank you.
I would like to commend you, Mr. President, for the success you had in reaching a peace agreement between Rwanda and the DRC. Africa is a vast continent that has many problems, and we truly count on you for your assistance in Sudan and in the Sahel, because no investment can be made when there is a war. For investment, you need peace.
Wait a minute. Let's stop right here for a minute. Let's stop right here. Liberia, anybody can look at the flag of Liberia and know why it's the way it is, right? How stupid and asinine to say, yeah, man, you speak good English. Translation: someone white had to educate you because you couldn't do it right. Exactly, George. Exactly. That's what it means. But I want to know, where are the Trump supporters at on this? And then these are the same people who want to get rid of the Department of Education, not knowing that Liberia used to be a cotton, a. Let me tell you what. Let me give y'all a short history. Let me give y'all a very short history of Liberia. I know there are a lot of things that went on in Liberia, of the creation of Liberia. So let me give y'all a little quick history of Liberia. The idea of Liberia came from the African Colonization Society. The African Colonization Society was created in the aftermath of the War of 1812. Well, Big J, what happened during the War 1812? Well, let me help you out. When the British came to invade, they invade Maryland, and a lot of the American army, since the American army was in disarray, and the only people who was protecting Washington D.C., because Baltimore and Maryland was pretty much taken over, the British marched themselves into Washington. James Madison, who was the fourth president of the United States, was somewhere else, and Washington, D.C. was left undefended. Long story short, it took slaves of James Madison and his Secretary of State, James Monroe. James Madison and James Monroe had slaves. Their slaves, and among other white people slaves, during the burning of Washington, defended Washington, D.C. against the marching British troops before a hurricane or tornado ended the battle. So this led to James Monroe. When James Monroe became president in 1816, he thought of, well, because we gave our own slaves guns, because a lot of those slaves had guns. A lot of those black men and black women had guns defending DC. So he said, well, like, we can't kill them. They have the knowledge of weapons and warfare. Like black men have always had this. So he said, well, you know what? Let's carve a piece out of Africa and let's send these. So he created the American Colonization Society. Most of those slaves from Baltimore, the Mid-Atlantic, were sent back to Africa, and not only to Liberia, also to Sierra Leone. That's where, so this reason why the flag of Liberia is similar to that of the United States. But you got Donald Trumps in here who don't know the history of Liberia. Now, a lot of black people didn't know about Liberia itself. I mean, black people here in America, we wasn't taught about, when it comes to black history. A lot of us was taught about the creation of Liberia, Liberia's how Liberia helped America fought the Nazis in World War II, because yes, the Liberians denied Hitler rubber, and rubber is not always man-made. Rubber also comes from trees. So I'm just giving y'all a little short rundown. I know I'm missing a few beats, a few key moments, but for the sitting president of the United States, to tell the sitting president of Liberia to say, "Oh, you speak English so well." This shows how ignorant and stupid who y'all voted for. Y'all voted for ignorance. Y'all voted for stupidity. Everybody with a brain knows that the Liberians were the ones who came from, was government is modeled after the United States. And even if you read the Liberian Declaration of Independence, they said, we declare our independence from the United States of North America. Their capital city is named after one of their former slave master, James Monroe. Morovia. Morovia is named after their slave master who sent them back over there. This is how stupid who y'all voted for is stupid. You voted for this clown, and therefore he's over there talking, "Oh, y'all speak English so well." I would like to go to like Liberia and Sierra Leone my damn self. I want to go there too. But like I said, and I'm tired of people. And while the rest of you Negroes are so angry about the essence that bullshit with essence fests and all that crap, y'all should be more mad about this. You should be more mad about this. You being disrespected as a Black American. The president just disrespect you as a Black American because he sit there and try to tell a former Black American, because Liberians, much of the Liberian population are African Americans. So he disrespect your history. Yet y'all voted for this clown. And it's amazing that there's no pushback. Yet y'all more worried about I'm FBA, I'm Pan African, I'm AUS, saying all these stupid ass groups. He disrespect y'all. And I'm sitting here looking at y'all like y'all falling for the okie doke all the time. Anybody with a brain who studied the history of Liberia, even looking at the flag itself, will tell you that Liberia used to be a part of the United States up until 1848. And America actually accepted independence in 1862. See, but American foreign policy has also treated Liberia as a red-headed stepchild, if you will. They treated him as a stepchild, an annoyance, a reminder of America's original sin, right? That's part of the reason why, though, that kept trying to put Liberia into the, they try to ignore Liberia, even though Liberia gave America rubber tires, Goodyear, Michelin. That's why Michelin and Goodyear had a lot of those factories and rubber plantations. And you know what? We might want to talk about that because that was kind of like the return to slavery. Having those poor Africans, poor Liberians, planting rubber trees and using rubber trees, and they wasn't getting paid for it. But that, you know what? I want to talk about that later on. I might want to talk about that later on, though. The slave labor with the rubber and all that. But yeah, what's going on, Femi? What's going on with you? So yeah, y'all voted for that. Don't get mad. Expect more craziness, suspect more stupidity. But I also got another thing I want to talk about. I did a 2-part, 3-part. No, it was a 3-part video on reparations and so forth. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Now, let's talk about, since the African leaders are here in America, and then now hold on, I forgot to play the one clip where Donald Trump tried to speed up the guy that you sitting at the table with other world leaders from Africa, rather, at African leaders especially. They're trying to tell you, hey man, we can make a deal with minerals, and we got this and we got that, and we can sell you, and we can buy this. Donald Trump said, speed this up. Wait a minute. You don't tell these people to speed it up. They came here to do business with you. And I'm really getting really tired of these people of these world leaders coming to Washington D.C. Let me tell you what they need. They need, you know, let me tell you what needs to happen. What needs to happen is they need to boycott visiting the president. They need to boycott visiting the president because the president, all he did is do ambushes. He ambushed Lewinsky, the president of Ukraine. He ambushed the president of South Africa. He was trying to do that to the British prime minister. He tried to ambush the president of France. He tried to ambush all of y'all. He trying to ambush y'all, invite y'all to the White House so he can talk all greasy and shit, and then y'all expect him to treat y'all with respect. No, he doesn't. Y'all need to boycott visiting the president until after 2029, after 2028. I'm just serious. And some of y'all don't. And he tells the world he don't know a country that used to be a part of the United States. Liberia used to be a part of the United States, and here you talking about, come on, get out of here. Excuse me. And his cult thinks he's masculine alpha, acting like, yeah, being wrong and strong is what they believe in. But these are the same people, George, that tell you, facts over feelings. These are the same people that tell you that being intellectual ain't shit. But you got this clown who don't know history or why a person speaking English. Well, the reason why the African leaders speak English because his country used to be a part of the United States. Was created by black slaves from Virginia and Maryland and New York. Because that's where and when New York ended slavery in 1830, I think 1829, 1830 is when New York abolished slavery. Some of them went down to Liberia. See, they got to stop. They think this is masculine. It's childish behavior. It's childish behavior that would, yeah. We got our ass beats on that. Okay, for acting like that, we listen. We got our asses beat for that shit. But yeah, make America great again. No. This is making America ugly. Okay, that's what this is. It's about making America ugly. Yeah, he don't know shit. See, Donald Trump reminds me of Black YouTube. A bunch of people, a bunch of niggas who don't know shit, but they're talking. Don't know shit, but yet they're talking. Lack any knowledge about the world around them, not self-aware, and just steady just bumping their gums. Right. Yeah, Big J, you're right. They resettled a lot of the slaves back to Liberia under the Monroe president. That's why President Monroe, President James Monroe, those was his slaves. You see, we got to understand it. James Monroe was like, listen, James Monroe and James Madison, the two presidents, they was kind of like, oh, wait a minute. Yo, we gave these slaves guns, and these slaves help starved off the British. Yeah, we can't ask these people to go back in chains. I got to get rid of that. They got guns now. I can't. What I'm gonna do? Take the guns away from them? These are my slaves. I can't do shit. So I might have to. And I read a book by there's a book called Presidents of War, and it talked about this because after the burnt down the White House, the president at the time lived in what they called the Octagon House. There's a place called the Octagon. If you go to Washington D.C., there's a house called the Octagon House. Well, after the White House was burnt down, the president used to live there, right? So he was up there. He was like, man, listen, man, we can't put these people back in chains. We can't sit there and put these people under a whip because we gave them the guns to defend the nation. So let's just put them on boats and take them back. And that's how Liberia and Sierra Leone was formed. Well, and the British created Sierra Leone, yeah. The British created under the same premise because you gave the slaves guns. You gave black people guns, and those same black people, you were beating their asses up last week. You was beaten and great from them last week. You gave them guns. Oh well, you know what? Let's put them on boats because we can't kill them all. Let's just put them on boats and drift them across the Atlantic and So Donald Trump can come here and say, "Well, you speak mighty good English," because the country used to be a part of the United States. You jackass. That country is created by former slaves, jackass. But y'all talk about make America great again. Yeah. I think that we need to put a quotation marks around the word great, because you ain't sounding great. Your education ain't great. Your worldview ain't great. All that is just some machismo, some masculine machismo speak. Y'all think being dumb is something to be cheered upon. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. I might come back for another live stream. I meant to do one early this morning, but I quit. I was feeling frustrated. And anyway, I'll see y'all next time. And go ahead and donate if y'all want. Anyway, I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But guess what? You ain't hearing nobody saying a word about that though, George. Anyway, let me get off of here. Y'all be easy. I'm out.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.